what language? Regarding this situation, English, German. Все хорошо, все. Ставьте. Возле места ставьте. Красиво. Все, начали обсуждаем, потом делаем.
Подожди, it's English, да? Французский English?
Yeah, because in 6 o'clock, Mamat asked me to give Russian. In 7 o'clock, he asked me to give English. What is that? Final solution.
English is better.
English.
It's cheaper. You understand. Could you tell me something?
That is Russian.
If you speak in English from here,
Okay.
people are just in English with English. They'll see what they will speak. Russian, what about English? Русский.
Пишите, я мне со всех сторон говорят разные. What language you speak?
Ну, давайте русский.
Who doesn't understand English?
English.
English. English. English.
Most
Okay. Somebody need to read English, please. Who knows English well?
I can
Better
read
than me.
English. Zoals van Russian from Russian.
Микрофон дайте.
Russian from Russian.
Yeah, I understand. Ask you which is it? Take this. What language? I will know.
And this one Russian. And this one Russian.
I'm sorry. It's difficult.
Who speak English better than me? Please read.
I can read.
Yes.
Where am I reading?
From where? I don't know.
From his time.
Nitai Das said, sent Srila Prabhupada a letter today, explaining
his reasons for leaving ISKCON. At first, Harikesha Maharaj didn't want to read the letter to Prabhupada because it was so offensive. But when Hansadutta Maharaj saw, he insisted that it be shown so that we could hear Prabhupada's rebuttals to the points. So this afternoon, after his nap, we went into his room and sat before him. Prabhupada was grave as Harikesha read out the letter. He responded point by point, not to dictate a reply as he normally does, but simply for our benefit. Nitai began by disclaiming the authenticity of our disciplic line. He cited Radha Ramanacharana Das Babaji, a contemporary of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who claimed that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta was never initiated by Srila Gopishore. It was well known that Gopishore never had any disciples. Prabhupada responded that Radha Ramanacharana Das Babaji was a Kanishta Adhikari whom Bhaktisiddhanta had strongly criticized for advertising himself as a great preacher without his having any actual knowledge of the Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. Nitai went on to say that he now doubted ISKCON's teachings. They are just the opposite to, or a misrepresentation of, what is actually in the Sastra. As an example, he offered a quote from Chaitanya Bhagavat, where Lord Chaitanya says that one cannot become one of his associates unless one chants 1 lakh of names daily. Prabhupada's reply was practical. If you take all of the so-called Goswamis, Babajis and Mahatmas in the whole of Vrindavan area together, they have not advanced Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement 1 inch. Nitai's next point was that Srila Haridas Thakur was the Namacharya. Since he chanted 3 lakhs of names a day, we either have to imitate that or keep it as our goal. Nitai asserted that if we chant at least 1 lakh of names daily, then Krishna will automatically give us prema. But Prabhupada disagreed. He said that Bhaktisiddhanta condemned the idea of sitting down and chanting in one place as merely a cheating process adopted by unscrupulous people desirous of obtaining name and fame as a so-called advanced devotee. He added that the idea that Krishna will automatically give prema is karma mimamsa philosophy. Krishna is not obliged to give prema to anyone. He said no matter how many rounds they chant. Incredibly, at the end of Nitai's letter, he had the audacity and hypocrisy to tell Prabhupada that he was now going out to seek the shelter of some other great Mahatma in whom I can place greater faith, and he asked for his blessings so that I may advance more and more. Srila Prabhupada's response was very strong. Yes, I bless you that you shall never advance. He then dictated a telegram to be sent to all the GBCs. Please let it be known that Nitai has become a venomous serpent. Be careful of him. Your ever well-wisher, Bhakti Vedanta Swami.
Я читаю на русском. Сегодня Нитай Дас прислал Шриле Прабхупаде письмо, объясняющее причины, по которым он покинул ISKCON. Сперва Харикеш Махарадж не хотел читать письмо Прабхупаде, поскольку он его покинул оскорбительным. Но Хамсадutta Махарадж, увидев его, настоял, чтобы мы его показали, что послушать, как Прабхупада развенчает его утверждение. Поэтому сегодня днем, после того, как он подремал, мы вошли в его комнату и сели перед ним. Прабхупада был серьезен, когда Харикеш читал письмо. Он ответил на него пункт за пунктом не для того, чтобы подиктовать ответ, как это он обычно делает, но просто для нашего блага. Нитай начал с отвержения авторитета нашей ученической преемственности. Он ссылался на слова ровесника Шрилы Прабхупады Сарасвати Такура, Радхарама Начарана Даса Бабаджи, который утверждал, что Шрила Бхактисиддханта никогда не получал инициацию у Шрилы Прабхупады. Всем было хорошо известно, что у Гаурадеша никогда не было учеников. Прабхупада ответил, что Рахарама Начарана Даса Бабаджи был канишской адикари, которого Шрила Бхактисиддханта сильно категоризировал, что тот представлял себя великим проповедником, в действительности не зная философии Гаудия Вайшнава. Нитай продолжал, написав, что в настоящий момент он сомневается в учении, распространяемом ISKCON. Оно прямо противоположно и является искаженным представлением того, о чем сказано в Шастре. В качестве примера он привел цитату из Чайтаньи Бхагаваты, где Господь Чайтанья говорит, что никто не может стать одним из его спутников до тех пор, пока не может воспевать один дакх имен ежедневно. Ответ Прабхупады был практичным. Если вы возьмете всех этих так называемых Госвами, Рабачи и Махатмы, всего Вриндавы вместе взятых, они не продвинули миссию Чайтаньи Прабху ни на дюйм. Следующее утверждение Нитай состояло в том, что поскольку Харидас Такур Банамачарья воспевал Патрик Лака с Виприкамена ежедневно, мы должны или подражать ему, или ставить это перед собой как цель. Нитай доказывал, что если мы повторяем по меньшей мере один лак с Виприкамена ежедневно, тогда Кришна автоматически даст нам прямо. Но Прабхупада с этим не согласился. Он сказал, что Шрила Бхактисиданта осудил идею о сидении на одном месте и воспевании, как самый обыкновенный обман, которым занимаются бессовестные люди, желая обрести имя и славу так называемых продвинутых преданных. Он добавил, что идея о том, что Кришна автоматически даст прему, это философия карма мимамсы. Кришна не обязан давать прему любому, сказал Прабхупада, и не важно, сколько кругов он повторяет. В конце своего письма Нитай проявил неслыханную дерзость и лицемерие, написав Прабхупаде, что сейчас он находится в поисках, собираясь принять прибежище у какого-нибудь другого Махатмы, которому у меня будет больше веры. Он просил Прабхупаду благословения, чтобы я мог продвигаться больше и больше. Последний кусочек. Ответ Шрила Прабхупады был очень жестким. Да, я благословляю тебя, уверив, что ты никогда не будешь духовно прогрессировать. Затем Прабхупада продиктовал телеграмму для рассылки всем членам GBC. Пожалуйста, передайте всем, что Нимай стал ядовитой змеей. Остерегайтесь его, ваш вечный благожелатель, Ачива Бхактисиданта Свами.
Шрила Прабхупада ки. Отлично. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 We are continuing to read Gauradesh Srimad Bhagavatam translation of Srila Vaibhavanavasi, his translation, and purpose of his Gauradesh Bhaktivinoda Srila Prabhupada, Brahmacharya for the National Society of Krishna Consciousness. And today we will read chapter number 7, The Science of God, and chapter number 2, yes? Hiranyakashipu, king of demons, and text number
13.
13 or 12.
20.
In 10. It is there. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I had wrong information. Oh, yes. Okay, please. Itite bhakti nirvisham. Itite bhakti nirvisham. Adaya adaya siradashrataha. Adaya siradashrataha. Tadha prajanam kadanam. Vidandhu kadana priya. Itite bhakti nirvisham. Adaya shirashadritaha. Tadha prajanam kadanam. Vidandhu kadana priya. Itite bhakti nirvisham. Adaya shirashadritaha. Tadha prajanam kadanam. Vidandhu kadana priya.
Itite bhakti nirvesham. Adaya shirashtaritaha.
Translation of Srila Prabhupada. Thus, the demons, being found of disastrous activities, took Hiranyakashipu's instructions on their heads with great respect and offered him obeisances. According to his directions, they engaged in envious activities directed against all living beings. The followers of daimonical principles, as described here, are thoroughly envious of the general populace. In the present day, scientific advancement exemplifies such envy. The discovery of nuclear energy has been disastrous to people in general because demons all over the world are manufacturing nuclear weapons. The word Kadana Priyaha is very significant in this regard. The daimonical persons who want to kill the Vedic culture are extremely envious of the feeble citizens, and they act in such a way that ultimately their discoveries will be unauspicious for everyone. Jagato Hitaha. The 16th chapter of Bhagavad Gita fully explains how the demons engage in simple activities for the destruction of the populace. End of commentary. Shubhpadi ki jai. Om Jnana Timirasya Vyavanchana Shalakaya Chakshur Militadina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Mukam Karati Vacham Bhagum Avyate Girim Yakritatavaham Mande Shri Guru Mataranam. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Krishna Bhutale Shivati Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvishesha Shrivadi Paschatya Yashatarini. One time more, we have full coexistence diary of Srila Prabhupada and the verse of Srila Bhagavatam. It's very interesting. In this text, there is a description of daimonical activities. And in diary, we read about daimonical activity of this side. In this Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada discussed the daimonical activities of daimonical persons out of ISKCON, in material world. In this diary, there is description of daimonical activity inside of ISKCON. And we start to discuss outside activities of materialistic people, and after that we start to discuss our own demonic activities inside of ISKCON. Yes. Welcome to reality. And Srila Prabhupada gave example of nuclear weapon. It is absolutely crazy thing, absolutely crazy. Because actually people have no idea what will the result of using these nuclear bombs. For example, in the 70s and 80s was idea if we people will use in one moment all our nuclear bombs, some hundreds, this activity will destroy all Earth, our planet at all. And Srila Prabhupada, one disciple asked Srila Prabhupada, is it true or not? Is real fear or not? And Srila Prabhupada said not. It is not real. It's fantastic, phantasmagory. It is only ideas, dreams. Because for destroying planet, need to have extra power, special mystic power, to create planet and destroy planet. And these people, all people with all nuclear weapons, have no this mystic power. Welcome to reality. And another explanation, examples of demonical activities surround ourselves, surround ISKCON and our planet. It was very interesting attack to cows in our planet, in Western world. It was around maybe 100 years, very long time activity. In the beginning, we remember, according to Vedic culture, every people, every person, every family in village has a cow, or 2 cows, or 3 cows. Or it was very interesting, one devotee, disciple of Gauradesh Swami, he was from Ukraine. I spoke with him at the end of previous century, it's around 2000. And he said, in our village we use milk from the cows, not from the shop. It is not good, milk from the shop. And we cannot take 1 cow for 1 family. It is too much, too heavy. We have 1 cow to 3 families. 3 cows, 1 cow. Because need to, I don't know, to go with cow to the field for taking grass, yes, everything. And if I started to be cowboy, I cannot have my business, my job. And one day, from 3 families, if we have 1 person, it was 6 days. 6 days. One time in a week, I need to do cow protection. I need to protect our cow. One time in a week, it is possible. It is possible. And enough volume of milk, maybe 10 liters per day. It is 3 liters for 1 family. It's practical. Cow protection in our day. 1 cow for 3 families. It's reality. Sorry. But in Ukraine, people have real cows. And if we, Vaishnavas, will have our communities, our villages, we will have the same structure. 1 cow for 3 families. I'm a member of one national meeting of ISKCON in one country. And so many years, devotees discuss how to organize cow protection.
Обсуждалась вот эта защита коров.
But idea is wrong.
Но идея это неправильная.
Main idea, one cow for 3 families.
Правильная
Without
идея одна
problems.
корова на 3 семьи.
It's reality.
Это
It's practical.
Это практично.
It's not so heavy.
Это
One devotee has
не так
20 cows
тяжело. В одного
in Lithuania, 20 cows.
20 коров.
And he had some sons and daughters. And idea was my sons and daughters will continue to cow protection, but not they go away to the cities, out of his house and village at all. No desire to do cow protection. And now he's very old, and he said, I cannot, please help me, I have 20 cows, what to do? Yes, it's not, sometimes not so practical. But one cow for 3 families, it is practical. Not so difficult. Yes, and first idea of attack for the cow in our planet, in the Western world, was to collect cows in big farms. You remember? Destroying the agricultural villages with cows. One cow for one house or one cow for 3 houses was destroyed. This situation. And all cows started to collect it in one big farm. In this place, in that place. And after then, it was in 19th or in this century, in the beginning of this century, attack was very interesting. Gas from the yeah, this gas produced by the cows is very, very poisoned. It was idea. Started to share it in all newspapers, in internet. The cow are not good for our health. Very bad. I started to think, oh, it's very interesting attack. So many years they collected cows in one place, and after they said the influence of gas is very poison. It is wonderful attack, wonderful attack. It was very, very popular in the discussion. Maybe some of you remember. But I don't know by what reason, but this idea was destroyed by another. No, it is only ideas, only ideas. Somebody, Krishna maybe, protected cows in our planet. Krishna. Я не знаю, кто это сделал, может быть, это сделал Кришна, но кто-то защитил корову.
Мы не знаем, кто это сделал, может быть, Кришна, кто-то защитил корову.
And it is example, another example. Nuclear weapons, another attack to the cows. We can give some another examples. It is outside of ISKCON. But we had a diary story about demonical activity inside of ISKCON. And Srila Prabhupada gave quote in the end of this purport to Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 16. It's demonical and divine persons like this. And there is a description of qualities of Vaishnavas in first 3 texts. And after that, all chapter is description of demonical qualities. Envy, Srila Prabhupada said, envious persons. But it is possible to understand what is demonical activity in our movement and why. why we have this activity now in the movement. I'm not in critical mood, I'm following diary. Because we are inviting everybody to our movement. And we are coming with daimonical and Vaishnava qualities. Good and bad. And after that, spiritual life for minimizing daimonical activity and for increasing the Vaishnava activity and qualities. For example, in the beginning of our movement, we had no strict Vishnu sadhana. Mangala Arati for 5, after the japa, after the Guru Puja, after the Bhagavatam, after the breakfast and so on. We had no. For example, some Prabhupada disciples said, one, Sankarshananda Satyakari, he is Prabhupada disciple, spiritual master in our movement. He said in his lecture, I joined to San Francisco Temple, and in that time was no Vishnu sadhana, Mangalarati, etc. in our temple. Srila Prabhupada established after some years. Why? Because Vishnu sadhana is destroying daimonical qualities. We are inviting all people, and our rules are 16 rounds, 4 religious principles and principles and Vishnu sadhana to destroy daimonical qualities. We did not ask who are you, who you was some years ago. No, join, come. But Vishnu sadhana. If you declare yourself, you will start to be pure soul. It is our soul. Like this. And examples of daimonical activities inside of responses. A disciple of Srila Prabhupada said, I have no, I need to go out, for example. I need to find somebody, not in Prabhupada, for my spiritual progress, etc. Very famous incident was maybe in 80s. I will not say, it was in one European country, I will not say what country exactly. It's what was in Europe. Jayapataka Swami, you know Jayapataka Swami, disciple of Prabhupada's message and shaking spiritual master. He had candidate to his disciple, candidate, not disciple, but candidate. And this candidate one time came to the meeting with his Guru Jayapataka Swami and asked, I want to be initiated, please give me initiation. Yes. Jayapataka Swami asked him, what about 4 principles, what about 16 rounds, idea, follower, very chanted Pranamata. And this follower said, no, you cannot. But I want to have initiation, I want to have, please. And Jayapataka said, no, unfortunately I cannot. Refuse this. Maybe in the future. We need to follow lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada by chanting 16 rounds, follow 4 regulative principles, and after them, after Prabhupada is my person, I am following Prabhupada. First Prabhupada, after the myself. It is our procedure in our movement. But he said no. And Jayapataka Maharaj said no. Sorry. And this so-called follower took knife and attacked Jayapataka. He attacked his throat. Very. And it was, and immediately devotee asked, put Maharaj to the hospital immediately. And finally, now Jayapataka Swami is alive even now. It means this person could not, was not able to kill him.
Этот человек не
And
смог
doctor
он
said,
боролся, а доктор сказал,
only the very big covering of the fat is
его
very
его
fat.
сложно потом Махарадж,
Very
только вот
big
это
cover of
сложение,
fat protected Maharaj. Because it is statistic is very bad in this situation. By knife to the throat, no, it's unbelievable. But only the covering of big volume of fat protected Maharaj. And Jayapataka Swami said it was instruction of Prabhupada. He gave the instruction to prasad as more as possible.
Потому что это так сказал. Папа сказал, не принимай просад, как можно больше, как можно
But
больше.
it is all known example of demonic activities. It was holy. Oh Krishna. Yes. Another example. I said about one spiritual master, I was one time, maybe 10 or 15 years ago,
Это было где-то 10-15 лет тому назад.
in his Srimad Bhagavatam class.
На его классе. Шрила Бхагаватам.
His class is quite short, not longer than 30 minutes.
30 минут.
And after that he said, usually saying, please, questions.
Слушай, говори вопросы, вопросы.
And it was one young girl, daughter of very good devotee,
Дочка хорошая преданная.
and she was maybe 14 years old.
Она была 14 лет.
She was a pupil in school at the time, I remember. He asked Sankarsana Sathikaya. He was his, and he is her spiritual master. She asked him, who am I, Vaishnava or demon? Sometimes for me it's very difficult to follow instructions of senior devotees. And sometimes I have desire to kill or temple president or some leaders. Who am I? Ай-яй-яй. It was open in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna. Oh, very open heart. Yes, and Sankarsana Prabhu, all started to see to Sankarsana Rasadhikari, to his reaction. He was absolutely happy with this big smile. And he said, you are devotee. It is normal. Because you are not, your heart is not very absolutely clear. It is normal for you. Don't worry, don't start to have distance from the senior devotees, because they are seniors, and they give forgiveness for you. No problem. Like father or like mother. Disqualification of senior devotees, temple president. You are devotee. It's very interesting. One time I, Namaguru Diksha Guru, Nirajana Swami, gave very interesting instruction in his Srimad Bhagavatam class. Maybe 25 years ago. He said, sometimes we can have strange or negative ideas in our mind. And intelligent devotee did not say about these ideas. No idea to act according to these ideas. Because even if we are starting to speak some nonsense, we will have 50% of negative reactions only by the words. By activity, 100% of reactions.
А если мы будем действовать так, то это будет 100%.
And usually, if we are saying about something, we will
Если мы иногда
act in future according to this.
говорим
Вот.
об этом, то в будущем можем и
And
делать
Angela
это.
Sanders said, intelligent person will not say about his negative ideas.
И Раджа с вами сказал, что
Negative
умный человек
control.
будет говорить о своих отрицательных эмоциях. и
One time, it was in personal darshan, it was
это личный дар.
meeting between him and myself,
С моим гуру, с Мираншей с вами.
and he asked me, what do you think about this topic?
Что ты думаешь по этому поводу?
Have you some ideas?
Вот есть какие-нибудь идеи?
And I started to think, oh yes, I have a lot of ideas
Я
now.
стала
I can
говорить,
say.
я много идей, да.
And I said, yes, I have some ideas.
Я сказал, да, у меня есть некоторые идеи.
And Guru said, and keep these ideas inside of your.
И Гуру сказал, ну так держи эти идеи при себе в своем уме.
Oops. Okay, yes.
Я сказал,
Don't say. Keep in mind.
не говори никому, держи при себе.
If you have.
Если
Yes, I have. Keep in mind.
Если, да, у меня есть, ну вот и держи их при себе.
It means mind control.
Это означает контроль ума.
And I took sannyas from my spiritual master in February of this year.
Включен саньяс в феврале этого года.
Before Sanya, I was a student in Sannyasa College.
Некоторое время до этого,
It is
я был студентом
closed.
вот этого
Closed
колледжа для саньяса.
school in our, or college in our movement.
В нашем
Very
движении.
difficult to start to be the students, even student in this college. Main professor is Ministry of Sannyasa, Прохладананда Swami.
Это министерство саньяса там.
Главный преподаватель.
Главный преподаватель. Это они из министерства саньяса.
And one of qualification
Одна из квалификаций
students,
студента.
if you have material desire,
Если у вас есть материальное желание,
you can be able to destroy it all this material desire by the period of 3-4 seconds.
ты не можешь разрушить это в течение нескольких секунд.
Don't follow, don't speak, destroy.
Не следуй, не говори об этом, просто
It's
разрушай.
qualification.
Вот это квалификация.
If you started to see or somebody saying help you, you have this desire, material desire, okay, no problem.
Если кто-то тебе говорит,
It's qualification.
что есть вот это
Because
материальное
sannyasi
желание,
cannot speak about nonsense and cannot act in nonsense way.
не могут действовать.
Behavior of sannyasi need to be wonderful. Example. It is qualification.
Это квалификация студента.
Yes. And they checked qualification of the students before. Giving sannyas permission for sannyas permission. Yes, you are ready. Okay. Yes.
Если мы подходили, то вы дали готов.
And another example,
Студентов вот в этом специальном.
Brahma Gayatri Mantra. It is special mantra chanted by Brahmas 3 times a day.
Читается 3 раза в день
In the morning, evening, and in the middle of the day.
в течение
And
дня.
very powerful mantras.
Очень сильно.
And one mantra is called Karma Gayatri Mantra. Karma Gayatri, not Karma, Karma Gayatri Mantra.
Мало говорит,
It is a mantra for destroying karma.
это мантра, которая разрушает каму.
It is praying for destroying sex, отождествление, как бы. Yeah.
To think that is the same.
Yeah.
Sameness.
Отождествление.
Не могу вспомнить.
Sex identity.
Секс yes. Для того, чтобы
3
вот это
times
вот
a day, every
разрушить
brahmanas or priest in the school
3 раза в день.
pray to Krishna for destroying self-identity.
Для того,
I am
чтобы
not man and not
своего
woman. I'm spiritual soul.
Идентично свое.
We are destroying not only demonical realities in our hearts, but material realities in our hearts. It is our practice.
Разрешаем наши вот
We are
это
not
вот
men
соответствие,
and women. We are spiritual souls.
отождествление, неправильное
We
идентификация.
are spiritual souls.
Мы не
It is our
ходим
practice.
вот это наше
Your devotional service kitchen. It's really
И счастливые души.
need to follow my process.
Нам нужно следовать складному процессу.
And we not will destroy our demonical qualities, but even material qualities.
И тогда мы разрушаем не наши демонические качества, а
And,
наши материальные качества.
In one book of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, spiritual master of Srila Prabhupada, named Amritavani, there is statement,
Написано.
by full surrendering, by the process of full surrendering to spiritual master from Guru Parampara, disciple will destroy
Предание духовному учителю.
natural reflexes, for example, sexual reflex.
Натуральные материальные рефлексы будут
Example of Satsurupa Goswami is very clear in this topic. Satsurupa Maharaj said about his hearing of lectures of Srila Prabhupada in first New York Temple. In much less gifts. And Satsurupa Maharaj said, I was young boy, maybe 20 plus years old. During, I was a writer or a poet, and I had a job in social office, and I had some money, quite enough money. I was alone, and it was a time of free sex revolution. And I liked sex. It was a significant part of my life, and I was active in sex, free sex. And I started to visit it. Lectures of Srila Prabhupada 3 times weekly, on Monday, on Wednesday, and Friday, like this, in 7 o'clock a.m. like this. And in one lecture, Srila Prabhupada said, sex only for producing a child. Sex only for producing a child. And Satsurupa Maharaj said it was absolutely strange. Absolutely strange. And it was so strange for me. I not started to fight with this argument. And I immediately forgot about this. Absolutely immediately. I had no desire to think about this like ideal. I had no desire to follow to this ideal. No, I immediately multiplied by 0. No, it's strange. Strange. And forgot about this lecture. But after 1 month, I started to think, where is sex in my life? Where is sex? No sex. Today I had no sex. And yesterday I had no sex. And 3 days I had no sex. When I had sex, I forgot. Yeah, about this, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati wrote in Amritavani book, by the surrender, open heart to the Guru from Guru Parampara, disciple will destroy natural reflexes. For example, sex. Reflex. Yeah, it's our practice. Welcome to reality. And there is one law or GBC for all of us. All Shriksha Diksha Gurus and all leaders need to help any devotee to surrender deeper, deeper and deeper to Srila Prabhupada.
больше и больше и больше Шриле Прабхупаде.
It is our main practice.
Это наша главная практика.
Because even only by help of Srila Prabhupada we can change our nature, demonic nature to divine nature, material consciousness and life to spiritual consciousness and life.
Наше материальное сознание на сознание духовное.
Okay. And we need to act under supervision of senior devotees.
И нам нужна поддержка старших преданных.
Because we have attraction to our demonical and material nature.
Потому что мы привлекаемся к этой демонической материальной натуре. Мы привлечены.
Senior devotee can help us to control this.
Старшие преданные, они помогут нам контролировать это естество наше.
One time, one spiritual master, Burijana Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple, appreciating spiritual master. I hear him maybe yesterday. He said, Srila Prabhupada in morning walk discussed the topic of money in Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada asked disciples around himself, what do you think about money in Krishna consciousness? And Burijana Prabhu immediately said, it is Maya, we don't need to have money. He was Bihasi about it, he said. Srila Prabhupada immediately stopped, started to see directly to him, and said, it is your hippie culture. It is not Krishna consciousness. We need a lot of money for our preaching and temples projects. No, it's hippie thinking. And okay, this is another example. We need to act under the supervisor of senior devotees, Shiksha Guru, leaders, because we have demonical and material nature. And by this reason, we have our temples and other projects. You can join and have good spiritual job inside spiritual job. Changing. We are coming to Krishna consciousness for changing, not for continuing, but for changing. Okay, we discussed diary with example of demonical behavior of disciple of Srila Prabhupada. After that, we read today the behavior of demons, subordinates of Hiranyakashipu, and the explanation of Srila Prabhupada how danger is this demonical activities. And we discussed demonical activity outside of ISKCON, two examples, nuclear weapon and attack for the covers. And after that we started to discuss demonical reality or activity inside of ISKCON. Attack to Jayapataka Swami. And purification. Example of Satsvarupa Maharaj. Okay, here are some questions, some topics. In any language, please. Is it interesting to you? Who is coordinator of questions? To manage issues to answer.
Okay, I only want to, you said when you have something, maybe strange thoughts, you don't have to talk, you may not talk about it. So when you think about this strange thought, never talk. Just put it inside and don't talk
Оставить это
about it.
внутри и не рассказывать никому. Вопрос, what
Yeah,
is
that
the
was-
question?
Is that not dangerous?
Не опасно ли это?
Что опасно?
Не опасно ли это скрывать в себе все вот эти вот мысли
Very
негативные?
good question. Very good question.
Хороший вопрос.
We can find answer to this question in the Srimad
Писание Шрила Прабхупады.
Srimad Bhagavatam, не Prabhupada.
Шримад Бхагаватам.
Chapter number 3.
Третья часть.
Там Kapila Deva teaching.
Капила Дев обучает.
He said,
Он говорит,
he gave analogy.
он приводит аналогию.
As our food will destroy it in our stomach,
Так же, как наша пища попадает в наш желудок,
our subtle body will destroy it
субтильное тело
by the influence of pure devotional service.
будет разрушено влиянием духовного служения.
Need to practice.
Нам нужно просто практиковать.
It's my idea.
Субтильно имеется в
We are
виду,
not
что
finding
то есть
with our nature, material nature. We are destroying this nature.
мы разрушаем материальную систему.
Kapila Bhagavan Ki. It is our reality.
Is it real?
Yes.
It is example of Brahma Gayatri mantra.
Это
Pray
пример
for
православия.
destroying self-identity.
Разрушить
It's regular practice. Regular
собственное
practice.
естество,
You understand?
наше естество.
Yeah. We are not to surrender to our material desires.
Мы не
No, it's
даем
stupid.
себе
No.
Нет, нет,
We need to destroy this
нет. Нам
material
нужно их
desire.
разрушить.
Example of Sasarupa Maharaj. His sexual desire
Пример. Да.
destroyed without problems by influence of Srila Prabhupada. We need to open our heart to Prabhupada and invite him. It is main duty of Shiksha, Diksha, Guru and leaders to help devotees to surrender deeper.
Шикша и Дикша будут разрушить наши материальные желания. Разрушить наши материальные желания.
Another explanation.
Другое объяснение.
Sankarshamana Satrikari, spiritual master.
Санкаршана.
I heard him in the April,
Я слышала лекции в
and
апреле.
he said,
Он сказал,
he asked audience, Srimad
он
Bhagavatam,
спросил публику, задавал вопрос.
what is the right balance between material and spiritual life?
Что за правильный баланс между духовной и
A
материальной
lot of
жизнью?
ideas.
Много идей.
But right answer, we have only one life,
Но правильный ответ это то, что у нас только одна жизнь,
spiritual life.
духовная.
We have no material
У
life.
нас нет материальной жизни.
Can you notice?
Вы преданные.
It is a wrong start.
Это
I have
неправильное
material life and spiritual life.
неправильное начало вместе.
Like
Духовная и
this, you will
материальная
go
жизнь.
this one, that, and after that, who am I, demon or Vaishnava? This book of Satsvaru. He said, no, we have one life, unique life, spiritual life. And we have needs for sleeping, eating, and so on. Even in ashram we have some beds and breakfast. It's natural. Yeah, but we have one life. You understand? It is interesting. It is one life. Yeah. It's according to Bhagavatam and
Это то, что говорит
Our
научный
spiritual
Бхагаватам и
masters.
другие духовные писания и наши
need to
наши
remember
учителя,
our
духовные
main
учителя.
process.
Это главный процесс наш.
Krishna, Krishna.
Thank you so much, Maharaj, for this very practical class. I had a very similar question.
Oh, Siva, oh.
I had a very similar question
У
to
меня похожий вопрос.
Gauradesh. Sometimes there are so many thoughts also during chanting demonic thoughts, and I think, no, I'm not thinking this.
Демонических мыслей, и я думаю, what you're thinking?
That sometimes some thoughts are there, but I think that I'm not thinking this. It's
Нет,
not
я не
me.
думаю, это не думаю, это не мои мысли.
Because I know that I can never think that even about a devotee, and I immediately regret it, and
Не могу об этом думать.
then I feel, who is this bad had, why are these thoughts sometimes coming,
И
sometimes
потом я
not?
думала, кто это вообще меня, ну откуда это идет, почему я думаю такие плохие мысли.
Is it normal that during even during devotion service
Нормально, что во
sometimes
время духовного
we
служения
have
иногда у нас
disturbing thoughts about
вот
others,
эти мысли, которые нам мешают.
but then immediately
Затем мгновенно
I start thinking about Krishna. No, right now I'm serving Krishna.
я думаю сразу, не, вот сейчас прямо я служу Кришне.
So what to do in this moment?
Not to do it moment when we have some strange desires during service. Yes, I gave one example
Я дам пример один.
in the
Я
beginning.
давала его уже в начале.
I was temple president first time in 1992,
Храма в 1992 году.
and I had 20 brahmacharis,
У меня было 20 брамачари.
and one brahmachari was pujari.
Один брамачари был пуджари.
He did all puja from morning to
Он
evening.
делал всю пуджу с утра до вечера.
All the other brahmacharis were book distributors.
А все остальные занимались
Oh
книжками.
no, one was cook.
Один готовил еще.
Cook, pujari, and
То повар, пуджари, и остальные все распространили.
good sadhana. And one time, this pujari was my good brother,
Мой брат
and I one time asked him,
однажды спросил.
have you sexual desire, my brother? And he said,
Я его
yes.
спросил, есть ли что-то желание?
I asked, have you sexual desire during your puja activity, for
Есть ли у
example,
тебя
basic
сексуальное
activity,
влечение во время активности?
maybe half an hour or 1 hour. It was 30 centimeters tall, made of metal. And he said, yes, sometimes, yes. I asked, what are you doing in this moment? He said, I am praying to Krishna. It is not myself, it is not myself. I am devotee. It is it's an example. Another example. Krishna, 5,000 years ago, asked Yudhishthira Maharaj, his cousin, your mother is young, no old form. It's special blessings of the last. And Yudhishthira said, yes, yes, it's very wonderful. But Krishna said, but my cousin, she is very pretty. And sometimes sexual desire to your dress. And Yudhishthira never said false words. He said, yes. And Krishna asked him, what are you doing in this moment? And Yudhishthira said, nothing. Because any activity is better. It's classic of Mahabharata. Krishna, welcome. Yes. What to do? First is explanation of Sachinandana Swami. Maybe you know Sachinandana Swami. He is Prabhupada disciple and sannyasi spiritual master. In one seminar, this book, Spiritual Transformation, he said we have a lot of ideas in our head. Thousands. How many ideas you have during one day? Thousands. About this, about that. And we cannot destroy these ideas. We cannot destroy these ideas. Because it is energy of Krishna, not our energy. We cannot destroy. But Krishna can, only Krishna can destroy. And it is process of spiritual progress. But what we can do, we can give choice, take choice between some ideas in our head. And one of realities, I am devotee.
Одна из идей есть то, что я преданный.
And we can put this idea
Мы можем
forward.
взять эту идею, выдвинуть ее вперед.
Another will continue to be, but inside.
А другие будут существовать, но они вот как бы сзади, внутри.
And we can have intensive desire, only one desire.
И у нас желание, интенсивное, сильное желание.
This construction of our consciousness.
Одно желание. Это
And we can do
изменить наше
choice.
сознание. И мы можем делать выбор.
I have desire to think about this in this mood. I am
У меня
devotee.
желание думать только об этом.
The same situation. It is procedure of our morning sadhana.
Вот это наш процесс, наши садханы утренние.
Immediately after waking up, we are starting to do obeisances to our spiritual master,
Сразу
the Lord
после
Shiva,
того,
Krishna,
как
Krishna,
мы
Krishna.
нашему огуру.
And after them come to Mangalarati,
После
and then we worship Charanarindam.
И
We started to think, I am
Мангаларати.
follower of Prabhupada of my spiritual
И
master.
думаем, да, я следую.
And we
следую Прабхупаде, и
not
следую
destroyed by
учителю.
put back or another thing. We put back
Мы отправляем назад это все.
все, all another
Все
identities.
остальные идеи мы отправляем.
I'm student, I'm
Я студент,
grandfather, I'm wife, I'm
я жена,
daughter.
я дочка.
Back.
Отправляем себя.
And clear soul is surrendered to Krishna.
И чистая, как бы нам ясная душа, она отдается Кришне.
It is idea, it is explanation of Sachinabhana Swami.
Это объяснение, когда есть Сачинанда Махарадж.
And another explanation,
Другое объяснение.
Satsvarupa Maharaj gave.
Сасарупа Махарадж дал объяснение.
His book is transcription of his lectures.
Там записаны лекции.
And in one lecture he said,
В одной лекции он
it
сказал,
was a retreat, some days retreat,
это был такой
in
ретрит на
USA.
несколько дней.
and he said in lecture,
Он сказал,
today, during night in my dream, I saw the face of Mr. Lust.
сегодня ночью в моем сне я увидел лицо
I forgot
мистера
about him.
желания.
I did not see his face some years,
Я не видела его
but today night,
лицо, но сегодня ночью
saw
мне приснился.
his face. And what I started to do,
И что же я сделала?
immediately, like small baby, I started to cry.
И
Prabhupada!
как маленький ребенок, я начал плакать.
And Prabhupada came to my consciousness and destroy it and drop away Mr. Lust.
И чтобы он разрушил этого
We can
мистера
destroy.
желания, вот
We
это
can put
видение.
back
Мы не можем разрушить, но мы можем отобрать
or invite Prabhupada. or
или
spiritual master.
пригласить четыре Прабхупады.
One time, last example, I was younger, it was 30 years ago, maybe. 30.
Это было 30 лет тому назад.
Now I was around 60, and that moment was nearby 30. I slept in one room, in one flat
Я был в квартире в одной. Я снимал
in Ukraine. I slept.
свои.
And during the night I started to feel sexual desire very, very
И ночью
intensive.
я чувствовал очень сильное сексуальное желание.
And started to think like
И начал думать,
Yudhishthira gave answer to Krishna, I do nothing because it is all activities wrong.
я не
It
делала
was dark
все
part of
все
night.
неправильно.
I cannot sleep, I cannot be active.
Я не
I
могу.
started to think, okay,
Начал думать.
in 4 o'clock some will manifest it and destroy this as demonical reality. I will wait the sun.
4 часа выйдет солнце, все разрушит, я подожду.
I started to sleep maybe 2 hours.
Посмотрел на часы,
Okay,
еще
need to
дальше.
be passive.
Я подожду.
And immediately
Немедленно.
my consciousness started to be light,
И мое
and the
сознание
sexual
было
desire destroyed it all.
И сексуальное
It was
желание.
surprise.
Я был удивлен.
And I started to think what happens.
Я стал думать, а что
It was
произошло.
not my activity,
Это не мое действие.
but I started to see my spiritual master in my
Я увидел
consciousness,
своего духовного
Sri
учителя.
Vishvavasu Swami came.
Шри Раджа Махараджа пришел.
I started to feel him presence,
Чувствовать его присутствие.
and he is going away in that moment.
И он в этот момент ушел.
And he turned his head.
Уходил как бы. И
And
он повернул
suddenly-
свою голову и сказал:
You forgot me.
ты меня забыл.
You forgot me. It
Ты
seems
забыл
like
меня?
you forgot me.
Ты меня забыл.
Invite me. I came by myself. Why are you not invite me?
Почему ты меня не приглашаешь? Я прихожу, когда ты меня зовешь. Почему ты
Very
меня зовешь?
interesting example.
Вот так
You need to ask Prabhupada, spiritual master.
духовный учитель называется Игашина
I want to immediately. No,
научный информацию про
verification. Okay? Now our body is need to go to the next room, next floor.
Наше тело должно идти в другую комнату.
We have spiritual soul and material and spiritual bodies.
У
And
нас есть духовная
to
душа,
speak for spiritual body, we need to have practice.
чтобы
Thank you very much. Granda Raja Srimad Bhagavatam Ki, Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki, the demonical nature not Jaya, not Jaya.
демонической натуры нельзя.
Все.